All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to NCAA and Name, Image, Likeness, otherwise known as Updates and Anarchy in America. And that is no joke. I mean, if you've been watching what's been happening with college athletics, name, image, likeness, the transfer portal, boosters and collectives, and tons of cash. This has been a pretty exciting watershed past few years. I mean, you look at the NCAA back in 2019. If a kid was taking endorsement money, he or she loses their scholarship. But in 2022, it's full guns ahead, and they can go out there and get all the money they want as long as it's fair market value for name, image, likeness. So things have changed quite a bit. So we're going to do this update today on the NCAA and name, image, likeness. My name is Brian Bronco. I'm a Seattle-based California and Washington attorney. Most of my background is in mortgage compliance. I also do seminars for high school coaches on student athlete development. I've coached high school football. I've written a couple of sports parenting books on student athlete development. I love sports, so this is something that is kind of a passion project for me. Compliance is not that interesting, but NCAA compliance, just because of the cash involved and some of the characters, it can be pretty fun to kind of keep track on what's going on. So hopefully you'll have a good time today. This is really designed for if you're involved in any kind of sports law, working with agents, working with athletes. Maybe you're thinking about getting into athletic compliance at the high school or college level. Hopefully this will help you out a little bit. And then for those of you that are just filling up credits, hopefully this will be a good break from tax law and administrative law. It'll be a little bit more fun, I hope. Three things to really keep in mind as we get going here. This is such a dynamic area right now. There are changes literally every day. Things will go out of date pretty quickly as we go along, just because there's such a fight right now between, the NCAA, the states, federal proposals on how to handle all this stuff. So there's changes coming up all the time. So just kind of keep in mind, I've got some resources at the end, and you've really got to keep up to date with state, federal, NCAA, as well as school and conference rules, because stuff is changing daily. I can't stress that enough. So rapid changes, that's just part of the gig right now. Second thing to keep in mind, anytime you have rapid changes, anything new, the regulatory agencies are looking for violators, because they want to kind of set the buoys on what you can do and what you can't do. So anytime you have something new, the agencies are out there and they are looking for violations. So you don't want to be anytime something new, you don't want to be the first person over the wall, and you don't want to be the last. So just kind of keep that in mind. They're out there looking for violations, so stay out of the gray area. And lastly, leverage has shifted at the NCAA level. It used to be, it's kind of coaches league, big names in coaching. Totally shifted at this point with name, image, likeness, and the transfer portal. All the leverage has shifted to the athletes themselves and the boosters who have the cash. So kind of keep that in mind as we go along. So rapid changes, they're looking for violations, and the leverage is really with the athletes and the boosters. So the roadmap for today, we're looking at the introduction. We'll look at name, image, likeness, where we're at now. We'll take a look at the boosters and collectives, and we'll talk about what a collective is. We will discuss the one-time transfer portal, which allows student athletes to move to a different school if they're unhappy for any reason, and they can do that, and they can, as long as they're eligible, they can compete immediately. They don't have to sit out a full year like they used to, which was just really unfair. And then we'll do a roundup, where we're at now, where things might go tomorrow, and some predictions on what I think might be ahead for us. So let's do the introduction. And I love this quote from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It pretty much tells you about college athletics. They're talking about the football player, and wow, does he really live here? I thought he just flew in for the games, and that's kind of where we're at today with student athletes, whether at the high school level or the college level. It's pretty dynamic, and athletes are being recruited and courted by the people with cash. So that's kind of where we're at, where we're going.